Welcome, friends. Here I am back again on a new day with a new topic. The topic for today is self love. How to love yourself. Well, this was the topics a few of you have mentioned in the comment sections in different places in the group, and I thought it's about time that we include this topic. So, today and tomorrow are the last couple of days when we are still in the zone of personal dimension, the dimension of individual, and then we move to the social dimension where we interact with the world. So these are last 2 days. Today is about self-love. Well, it is a beautiful topic. How to love yourself. It is very interesting topic. However, I want to tell you that what I have to say about self-love might contradict with many of the things that you already know, you already have read from different books, or you have heard from some different teachers. So what I'm going to say might differ from that, but I assume you are not here to read the same things which you have read earlier, or to listen to the same story, the same information that you already have from other people. So be prepared for some differences, some contradictions, but I believe if you are here, you do have an open mind to be able to listen to a different perspective. Okay, so let me start with this. Self-love will never work. Yes, it's a very beautiful concept, love yourself, and it's like, I would like if that is possible, but believe me, and by the end of this video, you will see why I say that. Even though it's a very noble concept, very lovable concept of loving yourself, it doesn't work and it will never work. Here is the reason why it will never work. You see, the word love, it's very interesting word, and when we go on the social dimension, we will talk about love in the context of loving another person. But for now, let's just come back to the idea of love itself. What I want to say is that our idea of the word love, what we mean by love, is always conditional. That means whenever you love someone or something, there is always a reason for that. And let me tell you, there is no such thing as unconditional love. And I know at this point, something within you might come up and say, hey, come on, no, there is something unconditional love. There are so many different kinds of unconditional love. Okay, give me a chance. Let me say what I have to say and then decide for yourself. What I am trying to say is that the very word love means I love this or that, and there is always because. Just look at people. There are people who fall in love with themselves. Like I have some clients who are from movie industry, and when you talk to them, you will see that oh my God, this person is in love within herself. But their love for themselves is dependent on something. Like and when that reason for love goes away, the love also goes away. For example, a very, very beautiful woman, maybe she's an actress or a model or just a housewife, but when she starts seeing some things like some wrinkles on the face and wrinkles on the body, she gets into panic. She gets into, something is threatened, her identity is threatened, and what happened to the self-love at that moment? There are people who have very good, who have a great idea about themselves, like I'm very intelligent, but when that is threatened, what happens to that self-love? What I'm trying to say is that most people, whenever they love someone or something, there is a reason. Like I love him because, I love that because, that there is always a because after it, there is always a condition. Now I know When I say love as a condition, many of you may not agree at this point, but let me make my point of view clear. What I'm saying is that there is no unconditional love. You don't believe me? Okay. Let's start with the most common kind of love, the romantic love, right? People say like you can fall in love with anyone, anytime. And love is such a pure phenomena, and it could happen with just about anyone. How many of you or how many people in your circle, social circle, have ever fallen in love with a homeless person? Now, if love is a phenomena that could happen to anyone with anywhere, statistically there must be at least one or two such incidences in our social circle where someone has fallen with some homeless guy, some drunkard, when you already know. Maybe he became drunkard later, that's a different thing. What I'm trying to say is that when you already know in the beginning about the status of that person, why people don't fall in love with, why that love doesn't happen. So what I'm trying to say is that it looks like that love can happen with anyone or anywhere, but we don't know. There are filters. There are filters by which we just filter out certain kinds of people, and our love will never go to them. So even if this person is lovable in all other ways, all other senses, still many of us will not go out and love such kind of a person, because there are filters, there are conditions which will not let us our love open to this kind of a person. Now I can hear, like whenever I talk about this topic, especially in some lecture or seminar, there is always some woman who would stand up and say that why I am wrong. She says you are wrong because maybe romantic love is conditional. Maybe people need a reason to love another person romantically, but mother's love is pure love, it is unconditional love, and nothing can beat that. Well, very beautiful, very noble idea, but I don't agree to that for a simple reason. Mother's love is equally conditional. A mother loves her child, there is a condition. My child. This is my child. The mother's love to a child depends on this one condition. This is my child. The same mother who loves the way her child, the way she loves, does she love the neighbor's kid the same way? You know the answer. It is not possible. Like the way we love our children, we don't love neighbor's children the same way. So isn't there a condition? Just the condition is, this is mine. And this applies to everything. My child, my brother, my sister, my mother, my family, our love to even the closest people may depend on condition. The condition is not always that he is rich or he is intelligent or he is handsome or she is beautiful. No, not always this kind of condition. Maybe this is the condition, my. You remove my and the love disappears. Anyways, I do believe that love is a very pure and a beautiful feeling to have, to feel towards someone else. But at the same time, I also believe that the gates of love only open with certain kind of conditions. We will talk about love as a phenomena in the romantic sense later on. For now, coming back to our idea of self-love. This is the reason I believe self-love, the theory of self-love, even though very nice theory, it is never going to work with anyone, because whenever you say, you can't just say I love myself, but what is the, I mean, there has to be a reason for you to love someone or something. Unfortunately, these reasons keep on fading. So we need something, we need to go beyond self-love. What I would suggest is, or rather what I think is that when people talk about self-love, their idea of self-love is like a mixture of self-confidence, self-esteem, self-love, all these things coming together, and they give it a name of self-love. Anyways, none of them would work because they all depend on us having something. We need something so dependable. We need something that once we have that, our feeling for ourselves cannot be shaped. We need something. Dhruv. By the way, the meaning of my name Dhruv is that which will never change, that which is always stable, that which is always dependable. For example, in Sanskrit, that is the meaning of Dhruv. So in India, the polar star, the north star, we call it Dhruv star. The reason is it is always dependable. It is always showing the north direction. So in old days, the sailors, they would use that, or people who are traveling in nights, they would look at that star and they will know here is the north, and they could follow because it was always dependable. We also need something which is always dependable, which once found will never go away. And self-love, I am sorry to say, but is not enough. Something else is needed. I would like to propose another terminology for that. Why do you need self-love? Why do you need self-esteem? Why can't we go beyond that? And beyond self-esteem and self-love and self-confidence is one thing, which I believe once you have it, once you are clear about it, will never go away from you. And that is what I call self-worth. Yes, that's right. You know worth, like worthiness. So most people's doubts about themselves, or when they feel bad about themselves, when the self-esteem is low, when the confidence is less, all of it can be traced back to the idea, I am not worthy. Like somewhere we feel I am not good enough, but that I am not good enough means I am not worthy. And because we don't feel our worthiness, we have to resort to this, we have to find some things to hang on, that I am worthy because I am intelligent, I am worthy because I am this or I am that. We don't need any handles to hang to when it comes to self-worth. This is what I want to tell you. You are worthy just because you are born. You are worthy just because you are. Your worthiness lies in the mere fact that you exist. You don't need any other reason. You don't need the reason like I am worthy because I am rich, I am worthy because I am beautiful, I am worthy because I am intelligent. You don't need anything else to let you know that you are worthy. People who feel worthy of themselves, like people who experience self-worth, their self-worth cannot depend on what they have. The self-worth lies in the simple fact that you exist here right now. That's it. The matter ends there. And a simple reason. Don't you believe that this universe is a very intelligent system? Don't you believe that if the universe didn't wanted something to exist, it simply wouldn't exist? So if you exist, it means the universe wants you to exist. And would the universe want something worthless to exist? And I'm not saying you have great worth. I'm saying there is no question of more worth or less worth. It's just self-worth. I am worthy, just because I am, just because I exist. That is the thing. Once you come to this point, once you realize this fact that your self-worth does not depend on what you have and how much you have, you will be free from the need to boost your self-confidence or to boost your self-esteem or to create this feeling of I love myself. Why do you need to love yourself? You don't need to love yourself because all you need is to feel your worthiness. And your worthiness is given to you. You were born with that. It is the ideas planted by the world around you, which makes you doubt your worthiness. The worthiness has always been there. Now, the interesting thing here is that if your worthiness exists in the simple fact that you exist, everyone else's worthiness also lies in the same fact that they are. So you are as worthy as the next person and as the next person and as everyone else in the world. What we have, what we achieve, they are our achievements. They are not, they don't define our self-worth. So as long as your self-worth is trapped in what you achieve and what you have, you will not feel your real, genuine self. Return to your true self, where when you start feeling your worthiness, this this sense of I'm not good enough will melt away. What we need is a return to feeling our own self-worth. And who stops you from doing that? Friends, there is no direct way to find your self-worthiness. The reason is, self-worthiness is always there. Your self-worth is always there. What stops you from experiencing your self-worth is the false equations in your mind that my worth depends on this or that. I recommend one thing. Start by observing. Again, you see, every time I'm ending a video, I'm asking you to simply observe something. But believe me, when you start observing, when you start recognizing false as false, it falls away. False means wrong. When you see wrong is as wrong, it melts away. It falls down. It doesn't, it can't control you any longer. So start by observing how your mind creates ideas about you are lovable or not lovable, you're good or not good, always based on what you have or how much you have. If you free yourself from that, you will see that your worthiness was as good as everyone else's worthiness. It has never changed and it will never change. Even if you lose everything that you have or you gain the whole world in your pockets, your self-worthiness, your self-worth never decreases nor increases. My suggestion, can you move from the idea of self-confidence to self-esteem to self-love and go beyond that to connect to your self-worth? I believe if you can do that, once again, it is a return to your own self. With that, I would like to end today's video. Always a pleasure to talk to you. We'll be back tomorrow with the last video about the personal dimension. Until then, have a great day. See you tomorrow. Thank you.